Stage 1. The cognitive disruption. Every atom in your body carries it. The ground beneath your feet is built from it. The ancient world encoded it into their most sacred architecture. And for 1700 years, the most powerful institution on Earth made sure you were terrified of it. Because the moment you understand what 666 actually means, the simulation they built around your mind begins to lose its grip. Stage 2. The deconstruction exposing the lie. In 95 AD, a text called the Book of Revelation described a number 666 and branded it the mark of a cosmic villain. The church adopted this framing, spread it, enforced it across centuries of sermons, art, and law. By the medieval period, 666 had become the single most feared numerical sequence in Western civilization. But here is the question no institution wanted you to ask. What if the number was not invented by Revelation? What if Revelation borrowed it from something far older? And what if the most effective way to hide a blueprint is to make humanity pathologically afraid of looking at it? Chapter 1. The Carbon Blueprint. Open a periodic table. Find carbon. Atomic number 6. Every atom of carbon contains exactly 6 protons in its nucleus, 6 neutrons orbiting that nucleus, and 6 electrons in its outer shell. 666. Carbon is not one element among many. It is the only element whose atomic structure allows for the formation of the long, stable molecular chains required to build biological life. Every living organism on Earth, every animal, every plant, every human body, is a carbon-based structure. The number 666 is not the signature of a devil. It is the atomic address of physical existence itself. They did not warn you about the mark of a beast. They warned you away from reading the barcode of your own body. Chapter 2. The Geometry of 6. Now step outside the human body and look at the world it inhabits. The number 6 does not appear once in the structure of physical reality. It is the repeating architectural law of the material dimension. The most structurally efficient shape in two-dimensional geometry is the hexagon. 6 equal sides. 6 equal angles. The honeycomb built by organisms with no architecture degree is a perfect hexagonal grid. Every snowflake in existence forms along a 6-pointed axis, and at the North Pole of Saturn, the largest storm system in our solar system, is a permanent hexagonal formation, so precise that mainstream science still cannot fully explain it. The Star of David, one of the oldest spiritual symbols on Earth, predating modern religion, is 2 overlapping triangles forming a 6-pointed star. Count its geometry. 6 outer points, 6 inner triangles, 6 outer triangles. 666, encoded into a symbol considered sacred thousands of years before the Book of Revelation existed. This is not coincidence. This is architecture. Someone or something built the material world along the frequency of 6. Chapter 3. The Historical Deletion. The suppression of 666 as a concept did not happen by accident. It followed the exact same operational pattern used to remove other pieces of the blueprint from the public record. The Book of Enoch, preserved for millennia, exclusively by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, isolated in the Simeon Mountains, while Rome edited the Western canon, describes the architecture of the physical world in terms of mathematical laws, astronomical grids, and the binding of consciousness to dense material form. It was systematically excluded from the Bible at the Council of Laodicea in 363 AD, not because its authorship was unverified, but because its content mapped the cage. The Gnostic scrolls, discovered at Nag Hammadi in 1945, described the material world as a construct designed by lower-order architects entities the texts call the demiurge and the archons, who built physical reality as a closed frequency system to limit the perception of the consciousness trapped inside it. The carbon 666 matrix is not metaphor in these texts. It is described as a literal vibrational mechanism. The pattern is always the same. Find the text that maps the material architecture, remove it from the official record, and replace the underlying concept with fear. Do not explain 666. Make humanity afraid of it. Do not circulate the Book of Enoch. Declare it non-canonical. Do not teach Gnostic cosmology. Burn the scrolls. Fear is the most efficient deletion tool ever engineered. Stage 4. The Matrix Shift Practical Integration. So what does this mean for you today, in your actual life? If 666 is the atomic frequency of the material container of the body, of three-dimensional physical reality, then the existential anxiety most people experience is not a malfunction, it is friction. Your awareness, which is not carbon-based, rubbing against the hard geometric edges of a carbon-based world it was never designed to be permanently fused to. The loop most people are trapped in is not moral. It is atomic. You were not born broken. You were born encoded, housed inside a frequency lock so mathematically precise that it took thousands of years and the systematic deletion of entire libraries to prevent you from reading the label on the cage. The first move out of the loop is not spiritual practice. It is recognition. The moment you understand that the anxiety, the repetition, the sense that reality is scripted and artificial, is the natural result of an aware consciousness inside a material frequency grid, you stop fighting the sensation and start observing it. You step one position backward, into the neutral observer. The part of your awareness that watches the carbon body experience the loop, but is not itself inside the loop. You cannot think your way out of a frequency cage using thoughts generated inside the frequency cage. But you can observe it. An observation in this system is the only mechanism that starves the loop of the reactive energy it needs to sustain itself. Stage 5. The infinite loop, the open-ending cliffhanger. 666 was never the mark of the beast. It was the mark of matter itself. The atomic signature of the simulation written into every carbon molecule of the body you believe is you. The most powerful act of misdirection in human history was not hiding a number. It was making you afraid to look at the one that explained everything. But this uncovers a deeper question. 1. The carbon blueprint does not answer on its own. If 666 is the code that anchors consciousness inside physical matter, what is the sequence that unlocks the door from the other side? The answer was not left by a scientist. It was not recovered from the Ethiopian highlands. It was written in the 14th century by a poet who mapped the exact architecture of the lower dimensions layer by layer in a work the world was taught to read as fiction. To find the exit sequence, we have to follow Dante directly into the center of the Inferno. That's all for today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more such amazing videos. See you next time.